Checking in with a lot of folks as things are getting ready to go here in Central New York. Outlaw Speedway racing this weekend, but the guy on the phone I've got with me right now, he is going to be racing tonight. I saved this for Friday, put this up in the afternoon. Jimmy Phelps will be at Malta tonight. It is the season opener at Albany Saratoga Speedway, and if you haven't been out there yet and your favorite track is not racing yet, trust me, you're going to want to get out here. Of course, Jimmy also works at Bridgeport Speedway, so we'll talk a little bit about all those things. Jimmy, first of all, how we doing?
Doing good, Doug.
Good. About 6 o'clock on Thursdays when we recorded this, so must be excited to get the suit back on and get back racing again later on Friday night.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, we're heading up to Malta there and doing the Albany Saratoga opener, and really like that place. It's a really fun racetrack, and I wish it was a couple hours closer. We could try to get there more often. It's just, it's tough on Fridays, and obviously, Brewerton's another great racetrack,
Sure.
So kind of half hour from home, it's kind of tough to drive by it, but yeah, I'm excited to get going. We were able to get out last week at Middletown, and then shaking a new car down tomorrow night on Hoosiers and Dirt Rules, so it'll be a good test and tune for us, and kind of see where we stack up here.
Now, Malta, I've been out there a lot. Love the track, just like Jimmy. I absolutely love the place. It's like Brewerton, but it's not like Brewerton, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's like Brewerton or any racy short track in regards to the to the shape and to the to the way the place races. It's pretty conducive usually to 2-3 lanes and track changes throughout the race. I mean, all those characteristics are very similar. I mean, it's each track has its characteristics that make them different. And it's funny. At times it feels like it feels the same. It feels like you're racing on a very similar track, but the setups and the things that you do there to try to get better seem to always end up being different. So it's kind of puzzling, but what we find.
Well, I would think then it would be a perfect place then to shake down that new car then, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, assuming hearing good things about their new surface, and I always does a pretty good job. So assuming it's not super rough, we haven't had a ton of typical weather for this last couple of weeks, so my guess is the track's gonna be pretty nice, and yeah, so anytime you can get on a nice smooth track and somewhere that's like other places, similarities to other places that you're going to need to run along the way, it's a good place to shake it down.
Mm-hmm. Is it basically the same package you've had before, or is there something different about this car? And again, tell me whatever you're comfortable saying.
Yeah, no, it's just it's a standard Bicknell car, Renault big block, and big shocks and 4 Hoosier tires, pretty much, our normal deal for the dirt deal. And, just again, anytime you bring one out, you want to just make sure everything's right. And we'll be heading to Bridgeport next week for our series opener, so obviously we want to get a race on it before then.
Okay, so that in addition to being the Brewerton car will be the series car also?
This car is probably going to be the series car. We've got a couple big blocks, and there's no real, they're both pretty good, so it's no real telling what we'll bring where when, but this car is a new car that will, probably at this stage start the tour with.
Okay. What about Brewerton then? Do we bring back the car we had last year?
Yeah, hard to say. No, well, so the car we ran most of last year, we actually swapped out the frames.
Okay.
But our backup car / second car has been to Brewerton a handful of times. It's a good piece, very similar, and we'll be running there. We'll be running that as much as this one. So it's we just kind of. A lot of times it comes down to what motor you got in what car at the time ends up dictating sort of where you take it. So that could change, throughout the year.
Okay. Obviously, Orange County was last weekend, different setups, different stuff down there. How much of the short track super series type of stuff might we do this year?
Well, I mean, we obviously we went down to Middletown because nothing really was going on yet, and it paid real well, and we wanted to get going. And I think once we get busy with the dirt deal, we're going to really kind of pick what best suits us. Our plans are to hit Utica Rome a couple times, probably do Port Royal again, and maybe kind of see how we're looking towards the end of the year, and maybe do the Fonda 200. It just right now, we kind of, at least me personally, I mean, we focus on the big block dirt tour, focus on our, Brewerton schedule, and then everything else just really comes down to, what it pays, how it fits into our schedule and our program. So just take those kind of day by day. But we do have Fort Royal. We do have the big Utica shows penciled in. And other than that, I really don't know.
Okay. All right. Good answer. By the way, the pictures you're looking at here, the one that I'm using on this one with Jimmy was back in 2007. I tried my suit on. It's been a lot longer since I tried it on than you. Mine was a little tight. You okay?
Well, fortunately, the team keeps me in fresh suits every year or two. So I'd have to think if you looked at them all in a line, they would definitely be growing as we got along here. But yeah, I'm not going to fit into my suits probably from that picture. I haven't seen it yet, but I could almost guarantee you that.
Yeah, I know. I'm not going to fit in any of the stuff I wore back in 2006 either. So that's just reality.
Yeah.
Are you doing a little working out? Because I know a lot of guys do that before the season because they say if you don't, the older we get, we're not as young as like you said in this picture here either. So you do have to do that, don't you?
Yeah, I've been trying. I've been. I was on a pretty good routine where I was getting up and going to work. I was getting up early, going to a gym in Auburn, and then taking a shower and going to work. And it was rolling pretty good there for a handful of years, and then COVID hit. And, of course, I kind of got a little lazy and stereotypically kind of stopped and sort of the last few years sort of paid the price for it. So actually this year I did get into a little bit of a routine where I've been trying to go at least, 3-4 days a week in the morning and just get a little bit in before I go to work. So yeah, I mean, I don't know that it's helping all that much, but I definitely feel better.
That's the big thing.
I got a lot more wind. I think it'll help from a cardio standpoint for sure early on here, because usually it takes a little while to get back into your race shape. So hopefully if we can at least maybe accelerate that process, maybe I can benefit from it early on here. But we'll see. I mean, I'm not getting any younger, so it's getting harder all the time,
All right. So with me, when you see me, you're not going to notice what's different. Just look at my arms. That's all I'm going to show you. Okay. That's all I want to focus on at this stage of the game. Of course, the All-Star Showcase gets the schedule started at Wheatsport this year on May 21st. 7 events. Of course, the carts get going as well. You can go to the wheatsportspeedway.com. You can find the schedule. Jimmy's on his way home, so I'm not going to take up any more of his time, but I'm going to see you in a couple of weeks. We'll take a little ride around the property and see how things look. How's that sound?
No, it sounds good. We're excited to kind of unveil the Wheatsport, the Wheatsport deal as well. Obviously, we got about a month before we're opening up with the big track, but it'll come before you know it. So we're busy.
Good to talk to you as always, Jimmy. You take care of yourself, and I'll talk to you soon.
All right, Doug. Thank you.
Again, wheatsportspeedway.com is how you found out all this stuff. Watch him tonight at Albany Saratoga, next week at Bridgeport. It is here, guy. The time is out. So get out and support your favorite drivers. And we got some great racing coming up here.